dictionaries, right? Dictionary is nothing but we will be having list of elements, okay, list of values we can say. In fact, instead of elements, we use values. For this, we will be giving some key, okay, like indexes we have in a list, we will be having keys, okay. This can be like key 1, which will be having value 1, key 2, value 2. So like this, we will be having collection of key value pairs that we can consider as a dictionary. And whether this dictionary is ordered or unordered, it is ordered. Up to 3.6 it was unordered, but it is now ordered. Next, is it changeable? Changeable in the sense immutable or mutable? Mutable. So the dictionary is mutable. That means we could able to change a dictionary content. Next, how we will denote this? Let us say D is the dictionary. Then D equal to, like a list is equal to, we will be using square brackets. Then 1, 2, 3, like this, some elements we will be having. Similarly, dictionary we will be using curly braces. Okay, we will be using curly braces. In the last to last class, we have used that. You did you update it? Did you update? In the last programs, you see square bracket used for dictionary. Those you update it as curly braces. Update. Since we have introduced from list, at that time I have continued with that. Okay, I don't want to interrupt. That's why. Okay, D is equal to now within curly braces, we have to provide key then value. So how we can relate these two is by separating with colon. Next, comma. Next, key 2, value 2. Comma, key 3, value 3. Like this, we will be having certain keys and corresponding values. This is dictionary. And whenever we print D, then entire dictionary will be printed. If you want to print only keys, then we can use this D dot keys. What is this keys? Keys is a function. Okay, keys is a function. So directly we will be getting K1, K2, K3. So we can print this as well. Next, if you want to get only values, then D dot values. This is also allowed. This is also a function. Okay. Next, as we have used for loop while displaying character by character in the string, here also we can use for loop. Okay. For suppose D is a dictionary, then we wanted to access I in D, then print I, then it will take one pair, okay, key value, like that it will take. Okay, suppose we wanted to access key separately, value separately, value separately, individually we wanted to access, not all the keys at a time, not like this. Okay, what is our requirement is like K1 we wanted to perform something. Okay, we wanted to display in some other format. K1 we wanted to get K1, then V1. We should able to refer this K1 separately, V1 separately. Similarly, next pair if you consider K2 separately, V2 separately, like this, then we can make use of for loop only. For we can use K comma V, that is key we will be getting, value we will be getting for one particular pair. Okay, for K comma V in, then where we are having dictionary, that is D dot items. Items is another function. Okay, like keys, values. Keys means only keys we will be getting. Values means only values we will get. Items means key value we will be getting. Okay, key value. So one key value we will be getting into K comma V. Now you can display or you can perform anything here. Like you can display key, then you can write it like some text, okay, to make you understand. Key refers to then value. Like that you can access key and value separately. Okay, this key is containing that is more appropriate. Key containing this value. Next another item, then key this another key contains another value. Like that it will repeat. Okay. Next, how we can update? Suppose one key value, keys and values we are having like this: k1 v1, k2 v2, k3 v3. Now we wanted to update k3 value as v4. Instead of v3 we wanted to make it as v4. Then we can use d of k3 d of k3 equal to v4. Directly we can assign, then it will update. Suppose we wanted to have k3 then v4 as well apart from this, then k3 k3 is equal to v4, d of k3 equal to v4, like this only. Here the question is, we are having k3 corresponding value is v3. Now we wanted to add one more pair, okay, that is k3 v4. v3 d of can we access by using value, by using index only, key only we will be accessing. This we have discussed, yes or no? Only k3 if we have, we should not have another pair with the same key. Okay, that is not allowed. So whenever we write like this, d of k3 is equal to v4 means in the same pair the value will be updated as v4. That's it. Only one pair will be there with the same key. Understand? Yeah. Next, suppose we wanted to have another pair like key 4, k4 and the value is v4. Then what we can do? Directly we can assign d of k4 is equal to v4. Directly we can assign. Okay, then automatically it will be appended. Somebody sent. Okay. Square brackets only. Square brackets will work. It is like index only, but why we are using this one? For this some explanation I have given in the last class. What was it? Why we are using curly braces? Because how we will use list square brackets, we know. This one means set. Set means ordered or unordered. Unordered. Okay, there won't be any index. 1, 2 is the set. Another set is 2, 1. Are these two same or not? Same only. Okay, 1, 2 and 2, 1 both are same. So now, since these dictionaries were unordered earlier, they have given this one because set is also unordered only. From this it is derived, so they are following the same thing. They kept the same thing. Understand? That's why we are having. Yeah, I hope you got it. Next, whenever we assign d of k4 is equal to v4, then it is like adding this to dictionary. Okay, that's it. So update means present value. Yeah. By using this also, for this context also we can use update. Yeah. Next, suppose we are having a dictionary like D is equal to same dictionary K1 V1, K2 V2, K3 V3. Now we wanted to delete one key value pair. Let us say K2 we wanted to delete. Okay, K2 we wanted to delete. That means whenever we delete this one, automatically this entire thing will be gone. So how we could able to do is, there is one function called pop. Okay, pop of what is the key? K2 that we have to provide. Okay, pop of K2 from where? Dictionary. What is the name of the dictionary? D. So D dot pop of, then it will delete. Okay. There is one concept called, actually I think I have explained you long back, recursion. In that recursion we will make use of one thing called stack. What is it? Okay. Here, you tell if you recall. Huh? Here, stack in the sense, I have given you one example as well. Like now you are getting WhatsApp messages, right? How it will be displayed? Whatever the message you receive at last, that will be visible at first. Understand? Similarly, missed calls also, how you will be receiving, suppose 3 calls, third call you will get first in the list. Okay, that is nothing but last in first out order. Okay, did we discuss this or not? Last in first out order. Yes, last in first out order. In the same, in this particular one, you just a small thing is, just you assume this is a container. Okay, this is a container. You will be keeping some, you will be using this container to place some items. Okay, you will be placing one item, second item, third item, fourth item, like this. You will be placing several items. Okay, which item will be retrieved? Which item you can take first? Fifth one. Okay, after that only you can take fourth one, you can take third one, like this. Okay, that is whatever the inserted one, whatever the last inserted one we have, that will be deleted first. Okay, so inserting, we call it as push. Inserting into this one, we call it as push. Okay, taking from this, that is deleting from this, we call it as pop. Okay, this is standard terminology we will use with respect to stack. Of course, in coming semesters we will be having data structure subject. There you will be learning stacks and all. Okay, but just you try to have an idea that stack will follow last in first out order. It will perform several operations. One of the operations is push, another one is pop. Push is nothing but insert. Pop is nothing but deletion. We cannot delete any item that we want. We can delete only in certain order. Okay, last inserted element only we can delete. Okay, that is the restriction in stack. Now coming to the point here, dictionary, as we are here we are using pop only, but we are specifying K2. Okay, in general dictionary, let us consider K1, K2, K3. These are the 3 pairs we are having. Now we wanted to have fourth one as well, that is D of K4 is equal to V4. Now how many are there? 4 key value pairs are there. Now we wanted to perform pop operation of K2. That means second one we wanted to delete. So we are specifying. But how we can achieve this kind of operation? That means what was inserted last? K4. Okay, that we wanted to delete, means there is one function called pop item. Here we need not specify. Here we need not specify the key. Just we can specify pop item. Then it will delete last inserted element. Suppose we don't have this line itself. Okay, we are having only this dictionary definition. D is equal to K1, K2, K3. That's it. Then what is there in the last K3, that will be deleted. That will be popped. Okay. Did you get the difference between pop and pop item? Pop means we have to specify the key that we wanted to delete. Pop item means last inserted key value or item can be deleted. Next, suppose you are having a dictionary, okay, some data we are having. We wanted to erase entire data and we wanted to keep D as a dictionary. Okay, then there is a function called clear. D dot clear. Then it's not clean, clear. Yeah, clear. Then entire data will be erased, but it will keep the dictionary as it is. That means D will be act as dictionary, but data will be deleted. Like I can relate with another concept, like you are having a table which consists of rows and columns. Okay, you are having first column 1, column 2, column 3, and some data D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, like this we are having data as well. Now here we wanted to keep the table structure as it is. Table structure as it is. That is C1, C2, C3 we will be having, but without data. Understand? T is a table. So here also T is a table. T we wanted to keep as it is without having any data. Understand? This kind of operation we will be performed with respect to dictionary by using clear. The data will be vanished, but structure will remain as it is. Keys also will not be there. D will be empty. That's it. Understand? What? Actually, this is a database concept. Just I am relating here, because this you could not able to visualize directly. What will be there if you delete entire thing? What will be there? Like that, you may get doubt. That's why I have drawn this. That's it. Okay. Actually, this is a database concept called a table. Okay. Whatever the data we store, that will be in the form of a table only. It will store. Now, whenever we drop the table, okay, if you drop the table, then entire table will be deleted. And there is a command called truncate. Actually, truncate in the sense it will delete data. Okay, drop means entire table will be vanished, but truncate means it will delete the data. It will keep the table structure as it is. Okay, that is the difference. Actually, there is another command called delete. Okay, this will also delete, but what it will delete is, suppose we are having 10 rows, out of those 3 only we wanted to delete. 3 in the sense by specifying, let us say we have stored information about students. Okay, in this particular one we wanted to find who are eligible to take vaccine. Okay, then who are eligible to take, in the sense age we will be considering. If age is less than 18, then we will delete those. Understand? So some of the rows will be retained here. Okay, that is achieved by using delete. Truncate means there is no need of specifying the condition, age less than 18, greater than 18. This kind of condition we need not specify. If you use truncate, automatically it will delete entire data. Drop means entire table itself deleted. Okay, table definition. If you try to access T is not known to me, like that, it will give error. Understand? Of course, this is out of the thing. Yeah. So these are some of the functions related to dictionaries, and we have introduced what is meant by function, right? What is meant by function? When we will use functions? Whenever a particular set of statements we wanted to repeat several times at several places, then we will make use of function. Okay, so now we you know already sqrt function, right? We know already. You type it. No. Hmm? Okay, do it. Completed. Do it whatever you want. Hmm. Then why you are asking laptop and all? Hmm. See, sqrt is the function we know. We didn't define this. That is, it is already exist in the Python library. Okay, whatever the functions we haven't defined and we are using means those are already defined. Okay, like input function also we are using directly. What is the functionality? We could able to get the input like this. Any other int? Any other float? Yeah, print. Yeah, this is more frequently used. Yeah. So these are the functions. These all are available inside Python library. Okay. In order to use this input, int, float, print, these things, we haven't done anything. Just we have used directly. But whenever we try to use sqrt, then it will not allow directly. Why? Because it is defined, whatever the functions we are using directly, those functions are by default, those are available. By default, those are available to use. But this sqrt is not available by default, but it is defined. Try to understand the difference. These are directly available and we could able to use directly. These are this sqrt is available, but we could not able to use directly. For why? Because it exists. It is like let us say some what we call that. Okay, some consumables. Some consumables at your home you will be bringing. Okay, like you consider cleaning things, all those things, even soaps and all. Okay, but those will be available. Okay, you need not bring from outside. Okay, but those are not ready to use all the time. Some things are available, ready to use. Understand? If okay, I will tell in more. Okay. Okay, you consider simple, instead of soaps, you consider choline, you know, right? Right? For cleaning computer screens or laptop screens or TVs and all. Yeah. So you will be bringing two choline bottles. Okay. One will be opened. Okay. One you will keep open and available ready. You make it available ready. Okay. This you can use. In order to, you are having another bottle also inside your home only. But in order to use this one, you have to bring to the area where you want and you have to open it, then only you could able to use. Okay, one which is already opened and kept ready, that will be easier to use and ready to use. But this one means you have to put some more effort, little more effort. You need not make choline, you need not bring from outside, but it is in some other shelf, like it is in store kind of thing inside your home only, so you can bring from there. Similarly here also, these functions input, int, float, these are readily available here, directly you can use it. But whenever we wanted to use sqrt, yes, this is not readily available, it is available but not ready to use it. So what we will do is we will be importing math. So we will write one line called import math. Then we can use math.sqrt. Yes or no? Math.sqrt, so that we could able to use. Okay, this is like a new Colin bottle, bringing and opening it. That's it. If you open it, then like this only we can use, right? Whatever the old bottle we have here, in the same way we can use it, right? So like that. Okay. So now, whatever the math we are importing, import math. This math is nothing but module. This math is called module. Okay. What we can have inside a module? In the math, so let us consider math module only. What we can have inside a module is, as you know, sqrt is a function. Like that, we are having several other functions. So in a module, we can have functions. Okay, we can have functions. What is the advantage of having functions inside a module? What is the advantage? Yeah, we need not define every time. Whenever we wanted to use certain functions, we can import that particular module by using this one, import math. That means import module name. Okay, import module name. Then whatever the functions available inside that module, those all can be utilized. Those all can be called directly. That is the advantage of using modules. Okay. Now let us consider we are having some 4 functions. Okay, 4 functions we have defined. Can you able to define function on your own? Function, how we can define? DEF function name, that's it, right? So DEF, then function 1. Okay, we are having some definition. Similarly, we are having DEF function 2, some definition. Next, function 3 as well. 3 functions we are having, let us say. Okay. Now, these 3 functions I wanted to utilize in some other program. These 3 functions I wanted to utilize in some other program. Then I can give some name to this. Like for functions also, some set of statements we have given one name, right? Like that, some set of functions we are giving one name. Okay, we are giving some name. Let us say that name is list of functions. List of functions is the name. Okay, this list of functions we have to indicate this as the Python code. Okay, this you have to store with .py extension, as we did in every source program. So here we will not be writing any executable statement, just we will be defining the functions. Then we are storing in the form of list of functions.py. That is as a Python file we have stored. Now whenever we wanted to use this F1, F2, these kind of things, then we can use import. What is the name of the module? List of functions is the module. So list of functions. Okay, .py is not necessary. Why? Because it will interpret automatically. So import list of functions. Then we can write our program. In that program, we can call F1. We can call F2. Did we define F1 now? No. F1 we are not defining here, but we are getting that by using this list of function. How we can denote that is, instead of writing this one directly F1 of F2 of, as we called sqrt, math.sqrt. What is math? Module name. Similarly, what is the module name here? List of functions. So list of functions dot F1. List of functions dot F2. Like this we can call. Okay. This is the advantage of defining module. Okay. How we can define module? Just by enclosing whatever the functions that we wanted to reuse inside a file, and we have to store that file with .py extension. That's it. Afterwards, we can import that file name by using that file name. That can be act as the module name. That's it. Then we can call it. And coming to this, as we have seen with respect to functions, we are having two types of functions: predefined functions. Predefined functions. In the last class, we have discussed predefined or built-in functions. Predefined or built-in functions and user-defined functions. These are user-defined functions. We are defining. Okay, predefined functions in the sense already exist, like sqrt, print, input, int, float. These all are predefined. So now here also modules also can be of two types. One is predefined, another one is user-defined. So predefined means, can you tell any module? Predefined module? Math. Okay, math is certain kind of. Next, user-defined list of functions. Like this, we can have two types: user-defined, predefined. Next, coming to the predefined math, we know one function called sqrt. Similarly, there exist several other functions as well. Like we are having POW, power of x comma y. Let us say, then it will give x power y. Okay, this is one function which is already available. Okay, next, similarly, you can use, we have seen ceil. What is ceil? Ceil. What was the example you explained? 2 times I have discussed it. Ceil of 3? 3. Clue was, I have given one clue while explaining that. You will be having flooring. Okay, you will be floor. Okay, you will be having flooring. Then you will be having ceiling as well. Okay, whenever you are sitting in any room, you will be having both the things, right? Now you are having, let us say, 3.2. 3.2 in the sense, ceil of 3.2. How you will calculate is nearest number which is greater than the given number. Nearest integer which is greater than the given number. So ceil of 3.2, what is the nearest number? Nearest number is 3, but which is greater than the given number? 3 is not greater than 3.2. So nearest number 4, 5, 6. These all are integers. Okay, but which is nearer? 4 is nearer. So ceil of 3.2 means 4. 3.2 ceil will be 4. Okay, 3.7 ceil will be 3.9, 3.1, 3.0001, 4 only. Okay, which should be nearest integer which is greater than the given number. Okay, just you remember, ceil is nothing but greater. Okay, next, floor will be down only. So 3.1, floor of 3.1, floor of 3.1, floor means down. Okay, nearest integer which is less than or equal to the given number. Okay, in the earlier definition also, ceil means nearest integer which is greater than or equal to the given number. Equal to will come. Like you consider ceil of 3.0. What is the value? 3. It is equal to only, right? Nearest integer which is greater than or equal to the given number. 3.2 means nearest integer we will be going, so it will come to 4. So floor of 3.2, floor of 3.2 is floor of 3.2 3. Floor of 2.1, floor of 2.99, floor of 2.99 2, right? 0.99 also, floor means it is 2 only. Now you consider floor of 2 only. Okay, floor of 2 is 2 only. This is also 2. This is 3. This is 3. 3. Ceil of 3.0. 3.0. Ceil of integer will be same number. That also you can consider. But you need to remember two things. But with one definition only you could be able to do. Yeah. But be careful while doing this ceil and floor for negative numbers. In written test, you will be getting these kind of things. If I am the what you call question paper setter, I will give these kind of things. Minus 3.4 minus 3, which is greater than the given, greater than or equal to the given number. So minus 3.4. Floor of minus 3.4 minus 4. Okay. Yeah. This ceil and floor functions are available in math module. Next, we are having another one like ABS. That is not and what is it? ABS braking system is? Okay. Okay. So ABS in the sense absolute value. Absolute value. So you know it is absolute value. Minus 5. What is the absolute value? Like that. Whatever the value we give, for that absolute value it will return. So if you don't know whether the input is negative number or positive number, you have to check and modify it. Like minus 5 if I give, it should be interpreted as 5 only. If that is the restriction, then you could use directly ABS of the given input. Understand? And another important functions, two functions are there: minimum, maximum. Okay, given list of integers, how we have found out minimum one? We will be assuming one element as the minimum, then we will be comparing with all other elements, then we will come to know which one is minimum. Okay, that functionality we could able to achieve by using the function called minimum. That is minimum of some list. You can give list, we can give set, anything. Okay, whatever the iterable, that one we can give like 1, 2, 3, then it will return 1. Okay, like that list we can give directly as the input. Similarly, max also, max of 1, 2, 3 we can give, then 3 we will get as the output. Okay, but these things we can discuss in one class, and you can learn it, and you will forget in another class definitely. But behind that, what is the logic? If you remember it, then you could, even though you don't know what is the name of the function, you could able to define on your own. Understand? Such kind of, yeah. Scope, lifetime and scope. Yeah, till this point clear? Let's. This is list only, right? Yeah. And this particular module definition, you can use it to optimize your input taking. Integer of input of you are writing, right, every time. Like that, you can define one function. Take in, then inside that you will take one input and convert it into integer that you return. Okay, those 3 lines you can keep it in one function, and you import that, you can use it in your programs for flexibility. You will be using same line all the time, so that can be. Yes. Normal source code only. Just we have to. .py. That's it. Yeah, you are having English class now. Absolute of what is the functionality you are asking? Absolute means just it will give positive value, like mod x value it will give. Mod x value, you know, right? That one it will give. Yeah. Okay, then we'll stop here.